Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, all my royal queens and kings. Thank you so much for coming by today. We will be covering Russell Simmons, Kimora Simmons, and their family drama. Well, the Simmons recently invited the world into their close knit parenting, um, indoor activities, their lifestyles, but child, I feel like once you spoil a child and get them used to a certain lifestyle, certain things can, backfire from you trying to be a parent that gives your child everything that you didn't have. Did it backfire or are they in a world of trouble? Well, we got a lot to get into. Let's get into it.
Girls can't never say how. Girls can't never say they need it. Girls can't never say nah. Girls can't never say they want it. Girls can't never say how. Girls can't never say they need it. Girls can't never say nah. Oh nah. Give it to me like you need it, baby. Want you to hear me screaming, have it breathing. I don't need a reason, baby. I want it till you can't buy. I can get it to you right, baby. I wanna be healing. I can be real good. Please don't get these feelings. Hey, I need some love.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are definitely here today to report on Kimora Simmons and the family. It's been a lot going on online. I know Kimora got online the other day and and where okay, so there is a lot going on behind the scenes with this family. And I know you guys, we saw Kimora Simmons, of course they divorced, I believe like over a decade or two ago. And, from what I know, they were just like a close-knit family. The co-parenting was up to par. You really didn't hear anything from that family. That's the family of Reverend, they're related. Reverend and Russell are brothers. And so a lot of people are saying, well, Russell is very aggressive. He's into younger women, allegedly. And that they've pointed out that he got with Kimora when she was 17 years old. And so when you talk about, times have changed, you know, do you really believe that a mother would pass off her offspring for monetary gain? And that right there, that statement, that's got a lot of people talking because they're saying, well, her mother didn't care for her. Her mother was all in it for the money. And, look where they are now, which makes a lot of sense, if you ask me. I will be dropping, well, I will have it available to where you guys can call in if you guys want to sound off on this topic. If you don't want to go on live, I will be dropping the StreamYard link as well. Give me 1 second as I go ahead and do this. But I feel like it was very, this conversation is definitely worth having when you talk about the culture that we're in right now. And I say the culture that we're in right now, the young Miami culture. Young Miami likes to be referred to um, as a whore, and she's really big on the big W. You know, and so when I look at some of our young people out here, and they are just so lost in the sauce, and it just seems like twerking is like the new education, right? Well, there's a clip that I did want to play for you all, so bear with me. I wanted to bring Kimora Simmons and her outrage. It seems like she's had enough. And if you guys know, Kimora recently spoke out about Kim Porter. Okay, Kim Porter is the was a good friend of well, one of her best friends. Kimora Simmons and Kim Porter were best friends. Very wealthy. They dated like the rich and the famous, of course, you know. And without further ado, I'm not going to hold you guys back from this content. Let's play it. And I want you guys to give me your feedback and your opinions on what you feel about her testimony.
Too much. And so I stepped in there to help adopt and raise that. So you guys know my kids. My kids have worked at the UN. My kids are ambassadors of the world. My kids speak multiple languages. Like I said, my youngest daughter is the youngest kid to graduate in recent history from an Ivy League school. You know, I'm a little upset, so I know I'm probably rambling and leaving out parts and jumping all over the place. I'm sorry. Y'all can hang up. I love you. I know everybody's going to be calling me later. But you all know that for sure that my kids are not brainwashed. So I thought that was crazy that people actually started to believe that, because I could see the messages and the comments and, oh, sorry. And sometimes people just want to have something to say, and I understand that too. So today, the whole topic, and I thought about people, all my friends in the industry, and who I could call and what media people I could talk to about this, and who do I go to talk about this? And I thought about this all the time, but I never really have, you know, the right person, and it's never really come to me. So I just thought I'd turn on my thing here and say this. But for someone to imply that my kids are brainwashed because they honored the job or the duty that their mom fulfills on a daily basis, 365 days of the year, 24/7, is crazy. No one's brainwashed. You guys can go and see, you know, no one's delusional. Hold on one second. Wolfie? Yeah. I love you. What are you doing? Are you trying to play in here with mom? Okay, but can I just do this little quick interview and then you can come right back? Can I? Okay. Only because I don't want just. Okay, I love you. Okay, I love that. Come back, okay? So let me just read my comments. Look at my crazy big movie screen, you guys. That's actually a movie screen. It's huge. It's like the biggest one of the biggest ones I could find. And it has a direct throw projector. So that projector shoots right up to that screen. It's super close. Anyway, we're not going to get into all of our tech gadgets, but what was I saying? So you all know that my kids are not brainwashed. Those of you that know me here also know what kind of parent I am. I have been a parent pretty much all my life. I was a very young, probably too young bride. So I had these kids very early, and you guys know how much my family means to me, and you know how much my kids mean to me, and you guys know, all of you that know me absolutely know what kind of mother I am and what kind of family dynamic I have over here. I think it's very important for you all to know if you look back in our history, I have always been the type of co-parent. You know, we were actually very famous for our co-parenting abilities and, you know, how we always put the good face forward and the good foot forward to the world. So you guys know that. If you pay attention to the time frame of things, you will see that some years ago, recently, this ex in question brought a lawsuit against me and my family, a completely frivolous lawsuit, where he accused me of all kinds of crazy stuff, like crazy stuff like embezzling, laundering, defrauding, all these things. Again, everybody that knows me knows that nothing could be like further from the truth. Clearly, I'm sitting right here in my home, right? There's no, none of that. I didn't flee the country. I don't run. I don't have to hide from anybody. I didn't commit any atrocities that I need to answer for, here or in the next life, at the gates, wherever I'm going to get. I don't have to do that like some other people. So if you pay attention to, excuse me, I'm a little emotional, but I get like that. So do my kids. So sorry about that. But if you pay attention to when this lawsuit was launched, it's probably like a couple years ago, you'll notice that that's when all of these attacks started coming from my ex. You'll notice that that's when a barrage of crap started coming over here to us. You'll notice that the kids stopped kind of, over the past years, they stopped kind of seeing their dad as much. And also, again, I have 5 kids, so I've always been like, an open book. All my other kids consider Russell to be, considered him to be at one point in time like an uncle. We were all very close. And that goes for all my baby dads, by the way. There's evidence of that. You can see them, on various far and few between events, but you can see them sometimes like on the red carpet, and you'll see one person with all the kids, right? We get along like a family, like friends, like whatever. So you'll notice that all of this down talking and all of this stuff started to take a turn around these past couple of years, I think coinciding with that lawsuit. But I just want to come and say, and I never get into this. I usually let people go and rant and rave. It's funny though how this particular person in question, because I could go in on a few of them one by one. But it's funny how this particular person, if you again go look back, you'll see on their page that they post all these pictures like we're together, like we're friends. They've even posted pictures and then said like, I just got off the phone with my kids. They sent me this great picture. None of that's true. I like receipts. So of course I have text messages. I have messages from all my kids. You can go and see. I think the bottom line, like probably the breaking point for all of this was over the past many months when their dad just sort of cut them off. He was contributing a little bit of cash to their like monthly, college spending, not much, a couple $100 probably, maybe $500. Maybe a little more. Again, all these things can be, proven with receipts. I love receipts, so folks can always go and get receipts and show over the years. And so one day he just kind of cut the kids off. There was no more money coming in, no more like allowance, quote unquote allowance. I think he probably did that just to double up the expenses on me, which is no problem. I stepped up, I did it. But when he did this, it was around just before finals and graduation. It was some months ago, just before finals and graduation. And he did it without telling the kids or talking to the kids or anything. He did it, it's funny, after he did an interview with, I heard some clips from an interview with this young man. I don't know, but I see him a lot. I think his name is Academic or DJ Academic. Oh, happy Juneteenth, you guys. We're doing all this on Juneteenth. Come on, let it go. Let it out. So I saw in that clip, that was some months ago too. You can go and reference it and find it, where he told this guy.
Well, one thing that's interesting to me is there was a lot of things that went down on Juneteenth. And for her to encourage people to get it out on Juneteenth, we'll be reviewing some footage of how these Black people was acting on Juneteenth, like some wild animals out the zoo.
he was on and on about this guy. And I think it was about old school hip hop heads and how you should honor them, which I believe you should. But he was saying to the guy, like, I'm so rich, I got this and I got that, and I'm this and that. None of that could be further from the truth. You know, he has turned around. And then again, I have records and evidence of this where he's told the kids in writing, we have it, text messages, I'm broke, I this, I that, I can't, you know, go get it from your mom. Now, meanwhile, I have been financially carrying this person probably for the last at least 10 years, myself and my ex-husband. Again, this is all proven with receipts. So if whatever, somebody doesn't like what I'm saying, you know, we can talk about it. We can come, we can open up our receipts. I love it. I love receipts. But I've taken care of this person to the tune of many, many, many millions of dollars to help with their bills, their overhead, their companies that they run into the ground, their unsuccessful bids, all of their stuff. I don't necessarily speak for my kids, but I think I could take probably a good shot at it. They're sleeping right now because it's not even 8:30 in the morning. But my two oldest girls, they're young women. They're young women of the world. I think that was very tough for them, that their dad like kind of cut them off and cut off conversation and cut off helping them. And he's even said things to them like, why did you go to college? You shouldn't have gone to college. You wasted that money. You could have saved it. While I'm up here trying to hustle the kids over the finish line.
Have y'all noticed that these Karens that got with these black men, now they want to, you know, come out and share all their grievances after they done got all the benefits, all the lavish lifestyle. Okay, now what's the problem? Was it a problem back then? Did you see any signs of all this back then? Did you ignore it? Did you just look over it? Did you think about it as a monetary gain? Let me just stay here and accumulate. Because we all know some celebrities, they do sign a prenup, and you have to be together for a certain amount of time before you can just walk away with anything. But now we're crying. Now we're, you know, out of all this conversation, this woman never mentions therapy or anything like that. Y'all have all this money, and the first thing you could run to was the computer and not call up a therapist. It's the deflection, people. Kim Porter was her best friend. Karma does not discriminate. You out there being messy, you are working, you deserve a payday. You out there keeping secrets, you are working, you deserve a payday. You're overlooking the DV situations just to get through, you are working, you deserve a payday. Let's go.
You know, that was crazy. It's just been so many things that kind of negate what I'm trying to do over here at my house. Again, like I live in Beverly Hills, California. You know, I go between New York and LA. People know how to find me. They know how to see me. I see people walking up and down the street all day, every day. I'm just not going to tolerate this from someone who's not on the streets walking around every day. They are like, I don't know, apparently like hiding under a rock someplace far away in another country. You know, again, these girls are adults. They are young adults. I typically try to be very friendly and amicable with all my baby daddies, whatever. But I think it comes a time when you guys have to ask your.
Well, let's get on the baby daddy situation. Let's talk about it. When you talk about money, listen here, people, money, divorce, somebody being taken up out of here, and there's a will and there's things to be left. People act very, very, very unhuman when it comes to situations like with money and things like that. People become a different person. But why the bashing party now? Why not come out? She says, oh, Russell will send me flowers. Well, he will send himself flowers, post it and say that she would send it. Why wouldn't you get on? Kimora, are you in danger? Is this a cry out for help? Is Kimora Lee Simmons trying to tell us something? Is she trying, allegedly, is she trying to say she's up next? Desperate times, desperate measures.
Yourself, why are these women, young women, not supportive or not really trying to hear that? Or what have they gone through? What have they seen that they,
You know what they saw? You were a young woman and their daddy is old enough to be their grandpa. You're a young woman. You were a yes woman. Yes, yes, yes. It's okay to say no.
that has turned them off or that has put a bad taste in their mouth. We've seen a lot lately over the years. And I have literally stood by these people and this man all my life.
Okay, now I'm a little thrown back. Who are these people? Are you referring to your children as these people and this man? I don't know why foreign women feel like they could get a different experience with the cultured men. You might have the looks, you might have that straight hair, you might appear to society to be the privileged, but girl, that does not make you exempt from the lifestyle that these struggle bandits live. And when you talk about these celebrities, oh my goodness, when the cameras come on, yeah, you're going to see, oh, everything is all good. These people got it together. He's doing yoga, but cutting a fool. Because somebody's feelings got the best of them. That's the only reason why the public is even seeing this.
And I just get so emotional when someone tries to attack my parenting or my family or my kids that have tried so hard. You can see all the press that we've done, all the interviews that we've done. I mean, it's a community thing. These kids graduating from high school, college, high school too. And all my friends, I say the same thing. It's every person knows here that has had graduates. I graduated from college only just recently in the past 5 years. It's tough. They're teenagers developing into young adults now. They have lived their whole life in the public eye, which I guess is a good thing and a bad thing, because it's good because my kids, my family, and so I hope that the public can kind of decipher some of these things and some of this.
Well, sis, let's talk about it. I want to go back to these experiences that you're sharing with this man. And not one time are you bringing up therapy. So how bad are you in need of some help? Why didn't your daughter have a therapist to call when she was going through whatever it was that she was going through so she can have coping skills? Y'all have all this money. Y'all was living this fabulous life, but therapy wasn't on the list of to do. You had clothing lines, you had businesses. I mean, where were your priorities? I can only ask that.
bullshit. But it's also bad because you grow up and, again, your stuff is in the public eye. You don't get to handle things that privately and discreetly, like other people may have a chance that are not.
See, this is the part that I'm not understanding, because when they want to be private, they are private. They are out of the limelight. If there was trouble going on, sis, you have all these assistants, you have all these resources, and you're not utilizing them. You have the money, so money wasn't an object, because when he stopped taking care of them, allegedly, you said that it was on you and your husband. So let's really talk about it, sis.
In the public eye. So I am very touched and emotional. I become very emotional. People always say, Kimora, you're such a boss. You're such a leader, but you're so emotional. I am emotional. I will, snap in a heartbeat when it comes to my kids. I think everybody knows that. And so the fact that you would come at this point and try to attack my kids or my family is crazy. I'm very, very proud of my kids. I love them very much. And I'm not going to tolerate this. I'm tired of it. I literally woke up to this. I haven't had a chance to get on the phone and call people and get the whole thing going and call publicists, call friends and do all that. I've gotten, enough. I just came on here and did it like this. I'm sorry. I'm in my living room. Those are all my crazy clothes. I'm renovating my closet, and so my clothes are here behind me, and so it looks like I'm in a warehouse, but I'm really in my living room. So I think if you look at just some of the facts, this person was not present at graduation. Again, there was not one graduation. There were several graduation events, both for NYU and Harvard. You can look these things up. There's a schedule. They're public events. Anybody can come or get tickets or show up or be there. They're usually in auditoriums. NYU was at Yankee Stadium. One of the graduations, the other ones were at smaller venues and locations. One of ours was at the Beacon Theater. They're all over. The same for Harvard and Boston. There's many different groups that graduate. So Yogi's like a classics major. It might be the classics group or the division of arts and science, or the law group, this group, that group. Everybody has a graduation in addition to the school as a whole, right? So my point of saying all this is that hi, Renbex. Hi, you guys. The point of saying all this is that if you look, this person has not been to any events, did not come to graduation, no, he wasn't particularly wanted, but no one stopped you, hasn't sent a flower or a gift or a kind word, cut the kids off when they were traveling around. Yoki was on a trip to Greece with the classics department. She didn't know that her little debit card or whatever wasn't working. That was a whole mess. And it's a lot. Again, you parents will know when you have kids that are in the middle of finals and studies and stuff like that, and stuff comes up and their things aren't going through and they're, whatever. It's been a stressful past months getting through college, and it's been a stressful past just couple of years dealing with this just dealing with this craziness. Hold on, I'm just trying to see what you guys are saying and I can't. So I just want to say I usually stay here and I try to be very supportive of my family. I've tried to be very supportive all the time of even my baby daddies. I've sat quietly through things, and just because I'm a mom, I've tried to look the other way for things and turn the other cheek. And I don't know, I sometimes feel like some of those things come back to haunt you over time, and stuff like that.
Okay, so that's my issue right there. It's like, okay, out of all this, like one thing that I don't understand is these big celebrities, she's like a multimillionaire, right? And for her to just do all this, it's like, what is this for? It's starting to make me think, because she's starting to speak up about Kim Porter, and I'm wondering, are they going to be after her? So that's why she's putting out these pleas. I mean, did Russell go against her? I mean, is he still cool with Diddy? It's a lot to unpack. Well, I'll leave it up for the replay game. You guys to leave it in the chat. Until next time, so long.